Hi, I'm Ajit Chauhan. I'm a visual arts instructor at Creativity Explored, and today I'm going to lead you on a virtual tour of the part of the exhibition at Minnesota Street Project that I curated for CE. Julie Casemore, the director of Minnesota Street Project, titled the exhibition Monument, taken from an Elizabeth Bishop poem largely about imaginative structures, dealing with the ways in which perspective and perception shape one another. The work I selected deals with repetition. Repetition is a recurrent architectural strategy to build form and space. A space which, instead of being the physical and measurable space of a room, can embody the notion of mental space in a given moment. In Pamela Pianciacci's untitled Marker on Paper, there's a kind of spatial perception that we encounter and process. It allows the viewer to be inside and outside at the same time, to grant a perspectival freedom of an exterior space and an interior space. In Roland Record's untitled Marker on Paper, there's a patchwork-like structure that contains sections that are transparent and some that are opaque. The process of his drawings starts by blocking off the surface in an open, fragmented grid, which through the gradual accumulation of detail becomes an all-over expansive structure. The repetition and interplay of symbols in Hunkei Shu's untitled Marker on Paper combine to create a Morse code pattern. There is an incredible innate sense of balance in all of Hunkei's work that generates a visual tension and movement within the composition. It's this lack of alignment, the willingness to let things have their own life, that gives a very organic quality to his work. In John Patrick Mackenzie's 1980, there is a grouping of subtractions. John often fills in enclosed characters, in this instance, nines, eights, sixes, and zeros. This gives a weight to the central form while allowing it to sit lightly across a pictorial space. In a lyrical, open-ended composition, the pieces seem to float against the background. In James Miles's untitled Marker on Paper, there's a subtle sense of an underlying grid that defines the space. Largely composed of a grid of small points in a disciplined looseness within which we can absorb and roam around the qualities of the staggered symbols descending into the cityscape below. In Evelyn Reyes's fence pieces, fence with sandwich, fence with carrots, fence with unnamed shape, and fence with bell, the recurring lattice-like structure appears again and again, each time underscoring with great certainty and clarity that fretwork pattern that mirrors the underlying painting by Alicia McCarthy. Alicia moves color out into space. It really has an emotional resonance that is utterly joyous. It zooms into being. The nestled energy is just waiting to be lifted out in a very expansive way. It has an incredible presence in person. Through Alicia's generosity, there is an opening up and a breaking down of barriers. Daniel Lee's columns on the front and back of the wall show great intention through their repetition. The central form or image of Daniel's work is transportation. In this case, semi-trailer trucks. There are many variations between the types of trucks: freight volumes, trailer lengths, flatbed trailers, enclosed trailers, lowboy trailers, step deck trailers, extendable trailers, and specialty trailers. Each of Daniel's drawings contained 4 separate truck images: a drawing on the bottom and the top by turning the paper upside down, then turning the paper over and repeating the process. Each drawing having a front side and a back side with the same orientation. The consistent format of these monochromatic works creates a logic rooted in minimalism, with the repetition of very short phrases that change gradually, producing a hypnotic effect. The regularity and orderliness is often broken in the work. The simplest forms of redundancy lead in time to variation and become unique sequences, implying that the ways in which we see can create new ways of seeing, new monuments. Bishop's poem begins with a question, "Now can you see the monument?" suggesting that before the poem begins, the writer and reader are looking at something from afar, yet the reader cannot see it. Now can you see the monument?